Okay, I think we're live. I'm gonna have to adjust the volume here. Sorry, everybody. The sound is coming out of this, I think. Interesting. I'll give us just a moment for people to join in and us to figure out our little technical issue with the sound. I'll be right with you. I hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday. Thank you. Okay. Hello, and happy Sunday. I still have sound coming out of my other device. Do you hear the echo? Let's see. Hi, Belinda. I'm actually in a very hot part of Florida right now. I can understand the heat. Give just another minute for others to join us. Yeah, I'm going to try to figure out again. The echo doesn't sound, because I can hear it here, which comes. Okay.
Do you want me to turn off the sound on there?
What does that do?
Doesn't annoy you.
But isn't it this one? Sorry, everyone. I'm just trying to figure out and make sure you don't have an echo. Can you mute the tab? You know how you can mute your internet tabs? I want to make sure I can see your comments as well. We're having fun with devices here. Technology it works wonderful when it works like you want it to. But I'll just get started and talk a little bit, and then I can't see your comments right now, but we're working on the echo sound and everything. I'll get my device back so I can see your comments. So I wanted to come on. I thought I'd come on live and just have some fun and show some of our new products. We'll be playing with our Stay Strong sets, which we have a 6x6 stamp set. These just came out on Friday, so they're brand spanking new. It's a 6x6 stamp set. It's called Stay Strong. It's got these great support type of sentiments in here. And along with the stamp set, we have coordinating dies. So you can cut out all those great sentiments as well as the ribbons. And then we also have our stickies. So these are adhesive transfers. And you get 3 sheets of stickies in each package. I'll set those aside. And what these are is they're like rub-ons. So you imagine you can rub on an image, but these are adhesive instead of just being an image. So what you're going to actually rub on is a clear adhesive that looks just like the image that's printed on the acetate. They're super fun to play with, and I'm going to show you just how easy they are to use. I've kind of come up with a little card that we can create. And I didn't know whether I wanted to use a foiled background or one that I have stamped. So I made my own background paper with this sheet here. Using the stamp set, I just randomly stamped that ribbon in our dress shop ink, which is a nice bold pink. And then, of course, I stick my finger in something, right? Isn't that the way it goes? But we probably cover that part up if we do use it. And then I also pulled out one of our foilables, and this is a new one called ringlets. And I just like that little ring pattern. So like I said, I wasn't sure if I wanted to use a foiled background or my stamped one. This is what I was going to stamp on, but I'm a messy stamper and I didn't want to do it live, at least not yet. Let's save that for later. I realized I didn't cut this down to the size that I need it. So I'm just going to trim it up real quick. So if we do decide to use it, it'll be the right size. I know I'm being quite brave using scissors to cut a straight line, but I'm using my other piece of cardstock as a guide. Just lay my scissors there. All right, so now we've got our background pieces. And I have a little scallop rectangle that I cut out that's going to be behind our little pattern paper. I've got a couple of circles. It's going to be our focus or focal point for our sentiment. I cut those with our layered circle dies. And then I have an A2 side folding card that I made out of our dress shop cardstock. So all our colored cardstock is 100 pounds. So it is a nice weight for a card base, especially if you add some extra layers on top of it. So we've got all our card pieces. And we're going to do our stickies first. So I die cut with the die one of the ribbons so that I can put my stickies right on my die cut. So the fun thing about the stickies is you can add glitter, flock, or foil to them. And you don't always have to have a white background. Like if you're using a foilable, it's printed on white paper. So then you always have a white background unless you ink blend or something on it, and that works fine too. But with the stickies, you can put them on any color cardstock that you like. So I've got this ribbon cut out with black. So we're going to use the ribbon stickies. And the solid ribbon and the open ribbon are the same size. So the die will cut both of those out. And we're going to use this Stay Strong sentiment. And I might use these little hearts if they fit in my circle. So what you want to do is you want to cut out the image that you're going to use. So I'm just going to cut these out with scissors. And you just rough cut around it. And I'll go ahead and cut my ribbon out because I'm going to use that as well. And with the dies that coordinate with it, it's nice because you can cut out around it if you want. I can definitely put the Stay Strong on there, maybe one or two of those hearts, but I'm going to have to cut them away first. I'm going to cut a little closer to them so that I can really squeeze them in close to that sentiment. So I'm going to cut a lot of this acetate away from the bottom. Okay. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. It's really a good weekend to stay inside and craft. We have a high of 91 today, but the heat index I was told was about 101. So it is super hot outside here. It's a nice day to stay inside. I apologize if you hear some barking in the background. Echo, my little Jack Russell, he always comes to work with me. All right, so now it's time to apply our Stay Strong and our little hearts. So these are like rub-ons, but you don't want to use anything hard to rub them on like you might use. I remember old rub-ons that you'd use a popsicle stick and you'd rub them on really hard so that they would stay and stick to the surface. You don't really want to do that with these stickies, these adhesive transfers. If you rub them with something too hard, you can actually smush and smash the adhesive and you can move it around. So you might, move some of the lettering or something if you're pressing too hard to rub them on. So I have found that the best way to apply them, the first thing you're going to do is peel away the acetate at the back. So we take the backing off. You don't want to touch the area where the image is because that's your adhesive. And I'm going to place it just where I want to on my paper. And I'm just going to leave that there. I want to add these hearts on as well. Add a couple of them. So let me see what's going to work here, what's going to fit. I think just one of them here is going to fit for now. We can always add another one if we think we need to. And it's not too hard to get the acetate off the back. This is a tiny little piece I'm trying to use here. So it keeps popping back when I try to grab it. But it's not terribly hard. I'm a little shaky too with my hands sometimes. Oh, see, and I messed this one up because I touched the heart with my hand. Not good. I messed that one up. They're really not hard, guys. Just butter fingers today. Dealing with these, if it weren't so tiny. Let's get another tiny heart. Let's try that again. Another thing is I'm starting to get those old eyes where you can't see things up close quite as well as you used to could. But I'm in denial and I don't want to go get glasses. I've had my eyes checked, but I told them I didn't want glasses yet. Not yet. I'm holding it a little longer. Okay, it's coming away. I'm just trying not to touch that heart. I should have my little tweezers here. There we go. All right. So now we have our Stay Strong and our little hearts on the white cardstock. But notice I haven't rubbed anything and I haven't peeled that top acetate away yet, because the best way to make these adhere pretty perfectly is to either run them through your die cut machine so you have that nice even pressure that goes over it, or what I do is I run them through my ink machine if it's a little more convenient. If I'm going to be foiling anyway, and you can run it through your laminator if you have a laminator, but that pressure that it gives. So I'm going to turn the ink machine on, but I'm going to turn it on 0 because I really don't need heat to adhere this to the paper. I just need pressure, and 0 on the ink machine is pressure only, no heat. All right, so I've got my transfer folder that comes with the ink machine, and you could use copy paper or parchment paper if you have a laminator. And I'm simply going to put this in here with the acetate on top of the adhesive transfers, and I'm going to run it through the ink machine. And while that runs through, it just takes a few seconds, I'm going to prepare my foil. So I've got a sheet of our new Sparkle Pink. I love pink, as you may be able to tell. So I love this foil. It's super sparkly and glittery, but it's got stars as well. I just love it. So I'm just going to cut out enough to fit over the top of our circle. Probably a little bit extra. Set that to the side. So we take this out, and then now we're ready to peel that top layer of acetate away from the stickies. You want to do it slowly, and you want to watch and make sure that you see that all your adhesive is staying in place. And it probably won't show up on the camera, but I can see, I mean, it's clear, but it gives a cloudy kind of look to where it is. So I can see that it's on the paper and none of it's stuck to my acetate, which is good. I'll peel away the acetate over the heart, and it looks good as well. So I'm going to put my foil right over the top of it. And you can either run it through with heat for this, or you can run it through with 0. That'll work as well. I always say with heat, our foil is a heat transfer foil. It's not a hot foil like you would think with the hot foil plates, but heat does help the foil to stick to the toner, to stick to adhesive. The heat just helps to form that bond with whatever you're sticking that to. So I'm going to go ahead and wait to foil it. I'm going to apply my other stickies to my piece of die cut here. I'm going to put the ribbon on. And I apologize that I can't see your comments. We had a little technical difficulty with having 2 devices in here, and both of them, or the other device was actually putting output of my voice. So I didn't want to have an echo. So I can't see your comments, and I apologize about that. I will go back to the video and address any questions that you have. So feel free to leave any questions that you have. And hopefully for next time, we will get everything sorted out. Always when you try something new, there's always something that can go wrong. I'm going to try to center that as best I can. There we go. I think that looks good. So I've got my stickies stuck to my black piece of cardstock here. And just like the first one, I'm going to run it through for that pressure to make that adhesive stick to the cardstock. So you can run it through a laminator, your die cut machine, or a mink machine, just anything that's going to apply nice even pressure without rubbing or scratching that adhesive transfer. If you have to rub it by hand, what we've done, we found it works pretty well if you use like a microfiber cloth, if you wrap that cloth around your finger and then you rub it in, because then you're not pushing with anything too hard. You just want to be careful that you're not pushing so hard on that adhesive that you could squish it and kind of move it around underneath the acetate. All right. So now this is ready to add some foil. So I need to cut another little piece of foil. And we'll go ahead and foil them at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat up on my mink machine to number 3. I use 3 for pretty much anything. If I find I'm having an issue with something, I'll move it down to 2 if I think it might be a little too hot. But 3 just typically seems to work for me in most of my projects that I do. Oops. All right, so we've got to peel the top acetate away carefully again. And there I have the stickies stuck to my cardstock. And I'm just going to kind of drop the foil down on there. I'm going to place both of the pieces in my transfer folder, and we'll foil them both at the same time. Oh wait, I put it in and it's still blinking red, but it's probably heated up enough that it'll work for the, since they're sticky, it'll work for this. If you were using a toner sheet, you definitely want to wait till it's green, because the toner isn't actually sticky until it's hot enough to be sticky, if that makes sense. But the adhesive transfers, they're already sticky, so just a little bit of heat. It's just to help the foil adhere and create a nice bond. You can rub the foil on to the adhesive. But I just find just running it through the mink or the laminator just makes it work that much better. Or you could run it through your die cut machine as well. Okay, and now I can see your comments. Yay, I think we got things worked out. So hello everybody. I see Dee is with us. Julianne, Cynthia, Irma. Is it Shani or Shani? Belinda, Irma, Beverly, Sovereign. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now we are ready. We've run this through our mink machine. So we're just going to peel the foil away. Oh my goodness. That's my favorite part of foiling. Oh, it's so gorgeous, so sparkly. I don't know if the camera picks it up. It's so hard to photograph foil. We've tried to photograph cards. We've tried to photograph the foil itself. That is just it's so hard to get all the sparkle and shine that it has to show on the camera. And then we have our little ribbon, sparkly pink. All right, so now we can just put our card together. So I'm just going to go through some of the comments and see if I didn't miss any questions or anything. I'm going to, oh, let's not turn the foil machine, the ink machine off just yet. I want to foil that foilable for our background just in case I want to use it. Like I said, I'm not sure if I want to use my stamped background or a foiled background. Because sometimes I say, can you really have too much foil on a card? And then I have to tell myself, yes, yes, you can. I have made some cards and gone, whoop, Michelle, that's way too much foil. That's just too much shine for one card. It is possible. Especially if you start adding like different colors together and such, and every single thing on the card is foiled. Sometimes it can be a little bit much, even if you love sparkle. And normally you would dust off, you want to dust off your foilable and your foil. It just helps to eliminate any dust or debris that might be on them that would get in between the foil and the toner. I didn't bring a cloth or anything in here with me to do that, so we're just gonna wing it. Our foilables and our foil really high quality, and you'll find that they foil very, very nicely. All right, so we're ready to run that through. I've just added the foil on top of the foilable in the transfer folder. I'll stick it through the ink machine. I kind of hold my fingers underneath the transfer folder as it goes through, just to help support, so it goes straight through and I don't get anything wrinkling up or getting caught on me. It's actually starting to cloud over here, which is nice. It means that we might actually get a little relief from the heat for a little bit. The problem is once it rains, then we get bad humidity and the heat comes right back with extra humidity. All right. So when you foil something like a foilable, I'm going to go ahead and turn the ink machine off and we'll slide that out of the way. It does have a hum to it, so it definitely has a little bit of a noise. Nice and quiet now. You want to make sure that you let it cool to the touch. So it's heat to transfer the foil onto the toner, because the toner kind of melts a little bit and allows that foil to attach to it. And if you rip it off while it's still hot, you break that bond that it's trying to create. So we'll wait till it's cool. It just takes a few seconds to cool down. And then you just slowly peel it away. Again, that's my favorite part. Oh, wow, yes. And we got super sparkly, pink, shiny ringlets. Now save your waste foil, that's what they call it. It's got a pattern in it now. You see the ringlet pattern is now removed from part of the foil, and you can run this foil through with some of our solid toner sheets. And we'll do that again in another video. I should have thought to bring like one in here so I could show you. Okay. So let's decide. I'll let you help me decide. So we're going to have a little black scallop background. I've got my stamped background, which I do like it. We're going to add our little circle here with our foiled ribbon. So we've got that. I don't know. I might be leaning towards this foiled background. And Joy says, wow, that's awesome. Thanks, Joy. It's so easy. Everybody can do it. You can do this awesome stuff at home too. There's nothing difficult about foiling this way. Maybe just the difficult thing is just, you know, pulling everything together to go together. All right, I'm going with the foil background. What do you think? I'm definitely liking all this sparkle and shine on here. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. You say the pinks match better. I think so too. The foil matches the foil background a little better than it does the stamped background. So I think we're going to go with it. So now we just have to glue the card together. Well, that's true. We could slice and use both the papers. I think I'll save that stamped background and make another card with that. And I'm just using our Easy Squeeze craft glue. Tiny bit of glue goes a long way. Like, see how you hardly see my glue on here? I use such a thin layer of glue. It's really all you need when gluing paper together. Center that on there. Just hold it a few seconds. Hi, Karen from PA. Is it hot there? I think most everybody is hot this time of year. And again, just a thin layer of glue. Especially on these foilable papers, it's a little thinner than your cardstocks. So you don't want to add a ton of glue. If you put a ton of glue, you're going to have some wrinkling come through on the front. You definitely can use liquid glue with them, but you just want to keep it to a minimum. And you want to be careful with gluey fingers. If I had glue on my fingers and I was trying to rub this down, I would get glue on the foil and then it dulls it. So try to be careful when using the liquid glue with the foil. So you've had nice temps in Minnesota. Oh, but you're going up to 99. Oh yeah, that's definitely hot. 100 by Thursday. Wow. Okay. I like using the liquid glue too because I have a few seconds just to shimmy that into place. All right, so I'm going to do what I like to do when I use circles is I like to put things off to the side. It's just pleasing to your eye. But I like to have the circle look like it's going off the paper. It just draws your eye around. So I'm just going to cut just a little part of that circle off on the side. Again, I'm just kind of brave. I just go with it with my scissors. I've cut so many things over the years and cut pretty straight. Doesn't always come out perfect, but I'd say that's pretty good right there. All right, I'm going to add that. And before I stick this down, I got to decide where our ribbon is going to go. I have a lot of room at the top there, but it looks kind of funny to me. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down where I originally had planned it. All right, so here's the card so far. I'm really liking this ringlet background with the circles for our sentiment. It kind of ties everything together. Yeah, and I like that too. So now there's just so much you can do with the stickies now, and you know, when it coordinates with the dies and the stamps, you can play around with them and get bunches of different looks. Just want to hold the glue down just a few seconds and let it dry. The foilables paper is almost, it's a coated, I would say it's a coated type of paper. So the glue doesn't like soak down into it right away. We have to hold it down a few seconds and let it dry on the paper. All right. Oh yes, Leslie, I love the new foils and the stickies. And if you look, we have, I'm just trying to decide. I don't normally like things floating around, but what do you think about the ribbon down here? I usually like things to have something to be, you know, like attached to. It just looks better to me sometimes, but that almost doesn't look too bad down here by itself. All right, let's go with that. I like it. You think it looks good near the G? Like down, maybe in that space under here. That looks nice too. All right, I'm getting a couple of yeses. I think we'll go with it. Just kind of, we'll angle it a little bit. That way it's not floating. I don't like floating things that just kind of float off to themselves. Just doesn't look right to me. So I usually do like to have things anchored to something. That's the word I use. They have to be anchored to the card. And if I'd brought my foam tape in here, I could have popped that up a little bit on some foam tape. That would have looked nice also. Oh, I love it. Oh yeah, the Barbie movie. Oh, here's a pink Barbie card. No, this is great. I know several of my family members have gone through breast cancer and treatment for it. My mom and two of her sisters. So this kind of card is sometimes needed, unfortunately. But if you need it, why not make it super sparkly and fun too? So we have to keep our mind positive. All right. Well, I thank you again so much for joining me today. I've had fun putting this card together. I wanted to do something showing you how the stickies work, because I know sometimes seeing things on a website, you go, I really don't know what that is. It just looks like, you know, more images to me. but seeing how you can add them to anything and foil them, it really gives a bigger variety of choices of what to do, you know, with your stamps and dies, and now the stickies that go with them. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend, what's left of it, and have a great week ahead. And I think we're going to try to do this again next Sunday. So we'll see what we can cook up for next Sunday. You guys have a great week. And until then, keep living the creative life. Thank you all.